We work so you can play. Mini Wargaming's The Fate of Fayoum.
Matthew here from MiniWargaming.com, and it's time for another story time for the Fate of Fayoum Tyranid Necron narrative campaign. Now, if you're new to this, then you need to not watch this video and go back and watch the earlier ones, because you're jumping right into the middle of a story here. And so there will be spoilers as to what has already happened and blah-de-blah. So watch the earlier ones. However, if you're not new to this, then let's continue. So as you know, up until now, there's been a lot of the Tyranid invasion, and then there was the civil war. Well, the loyalists have mostly been quelled by this point. Unfortunately, Khnum was not successful in either capturing the Transcendent C'tan that it wanted to capture, or in reclaiming the shipyards. But the rest of the loyalists they did manage to destroy the rest of the loyalists. So the civil war now is mostly over. And so he has to turn his attention back to destroying the Tyranid fleet as much as he possibly can. Unfortunately, he does not have access to his ships, and so the Tyranid hive ships are just continuing to send down reinforcement after reinforcement after reinforcement, and it's just getting out of control. Necrons aren't pushovers though, so they're holding their ground as much as they can, losing ground in other areas where they can't, and it's just been, it's escalating now. And this is the season finale of the Fate of Fayoum Tyranid Necron campaign. We're going to be doing 2 missions today, and they will both be at the apocalyptic level. That's right, 2 apocalypse games, not 4, 2. The way these are going to work: in the very first one, Khnum has realized that he has to strike a blow at the hive mind, or the hive that is there, if he is going to slow down the reinforcements. Having failed to get the shipyard so that he could send his fleet, which would have been able to do the job quite nicely, thanks to the loyalists, that didn't happen. He now has to resort to going in his ground forces to try to take on some of the established areas of the Tyranid hive. Having used as much of his scouting as possible, he's found several locations where a lot of the structures of the Tyranids have built up, getting ready to feed the hive ships all the biomass from the planet. He starts sending out parties and huge armies to destroy those, to stop the Tyranids from being able to harvest the biomass and send even more reinforcements to the planet. And so in the first mission, he is leading in a direct assault with one of his large armies against it. However, we may, just may, see that Transcendent C'tan get back. In the second mission, which will be sequential, so these will not be happening at the same time, he is going to once again try to take the shipyards, because the Tyranids at this point have actually done the job for him and killed all the loyalists, but now he's got a huge Tyranid army sitting on the shipyards and running amok and causing problems there. And so before they cause too much damage, but thankfully a lot of the stuff is underground, and so they're not getting to all of it, he needs to go in and clear them out. And that will be the final mission. The very first one that we're going to be playing today, so mission 6A, will determine if the Tyranids continue to get huge reinforcements. In other words, will they have 7,000 points in the final game, or only 5,000 points? The first game is going to be 7,000 points of Tyranids versus 5,000 points of Necrons. And then the very final game, which will be 5,000 points on both sides, with the Tyranids getting an extra 2,000 if Khnum fails in the first one, will decide the fate of Fayoum. This is not pre-scripted. This is not predetermined. If the Necrons win, then they will have successfully repelled the Tyranid hive fleet, and although they'll have a whole lot of cleaning up to do afterwards, we'll eventually be able to wipe them all off their planet. If the Tyranids win, then too much of a blow will be struck at the Necrons, and they will be too weak to fight off the rest of Hive Fleet Charon, and Hive Fleet Charon will be successful in harvesting the biomass of this planet, and then we'll be looking for others in the future. So stay tuned. Go ahead and click on the 2 missions below. Missions 6A and 6B are both posted right now. This is the season finale. So the first one, of course, is available for free on YouTube. And the second one, the very final mission, is only available in the Vault. And if you are not a Vault member, you can still click on it and sign up for a free 7-day trial, which will allow you instant access to watch the last one. If you decide after watching the season finale that you don't want to continue your Vault membership, you can cancel it. We have just no questions asked. You can just cancel. But we hope you'll stay. We think you'll want to, because there's going to be even more of these campaigns and more battle reports and more tutorials and everything else that is in the vault on top of what's already in there. And it supports us. It is what allows us to do this. We don't receive money from pretty much anything else except from our vault members. We get a bit of advertising revenue from YouTube, but it amounts to very little. The vault does, at this moment, more than 10 times what we make from YouTube revenue. So it is what allows us to support the studio and pay the actors that are in it to do the campaigns and battle reports and other stuff. And we really appreciate the vault members. And I have appreciated everybody who's been following this entire campaign. After the whole campaign is over, Steve and I will sit down and we'll make a video just discussing how it all went and do some behind the scenes stuff and talk about that too. So go ahead, click on the links below to watch the 2 missions, and happy wargaming. Playing 10, 20,000 points, so you have no idea when you'll actually need to take those breaks. But we're just doing end of turn. So any rule that says at a scheduled break really means between turns. And then we have the Carnifex Crusher Brood, and they all have bioplasma, which means one